Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marshall Occurrence Rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-America all day. Yeah, so this video is going to be about the light-skinned African Americans and dark-skinned African Americans. Light skin versus dark skin wars. Light skin versus dark skin wars. Now, a lot of people, I'm gonna say this off the rip. A lot of people don't have these hangups. They don't have these that are in the African American community. They don't have these hangups or problems. If they're light skinned, they're not intimidated by dark skinned women. They don't feel that they're not as African as dark skinned women. They don't have that complex. And if they're light skinned, if they're dark skinned, they don't feel intimidated by light skinned beauty. I gotta say it just like that. Say it again. There are some women in the African American community, people in general, men and women, even children, that are not, if they're light skinned, they're not intimidated by the dark skin as if they're more African than they are. There are people that don't have that hang up. They feel they're just as African as someone dark skinned. And there's dark skinned people who have light skinned friends, light skinned family members, and it's not an issue. They're not intimidated by their beauty. They don't feel that they're more per se beautiful or feel that light skin necessarily is more beautiful than dark skin. They don't have the hang up. So I gotta say that first before I get into this, so you don't think everybody has this problem. Like there's this real crisis, if you will. But it definitely is a cultural issue worth making a video about and worth talking about. And I say this, because see, all these wars have started, and this needs to be said not just for the white Americans, but for clarification of the positions of the African American community. It needs to be said for that reason. And it's not to out the culture or to out the people or to throw the people under the bus. It's because of the wars that have emerged with my likeness in it, with my name in it. Then this forces everything, the whole history, the whole thing, everything to come out. I'm a very high-ranking prophet. And for my name to get pulled into all the things that it's been pulled into, it forces all of this to come out about the sexuality of this country and all of this to come out concerning the real issues between black people, black on black issues, black to black issues. It forces it all to come out because of the rank that I am. Okay? Because of my rank it's all got to come out. So it's not about, I'm glad I'm saying this because as I address many issues concerning the American community, the black community, the white community, et cetera, it's probably because my name has been in the likeness of those dynamics. If I'm talking about certain ethnicities, it's probably because your people have done something. You need to get to the bottom of it. You want to get to the bottom of something? Get to the bottom of what your people may have done to a prophet of God. Okay? Because that's why these issues have to be addressed. They have to be. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need 1 million views. See, as a prophet, I treat my videos as crop. They're crops. So as the crop are planted and it grows, it's in the atmosphere. It's in the atmosphere and it's in the spiritual realm, which is the truth that is upright in the spiritual realm. I don't need millions of views. I just need the truth to be in the atmosphere in the spiritual realm. That's a 7. I just need it to be birthed out. Yeah, just in case you think I'm doing this for entertainment and I'm just twiddling my thumbs waiting for 1 million views. I need this to be birthed out. That's all I need as a prophet. and it just to sit there like trees and crops, good produce and good vegetables, good produce and fruits, all of that. So now I have to address, I told you there are people that don't have those hangups in the African American community, but I'm gonna give you a perfect example before I get into who doesn't know this and who does. I stayed with a white man named Jim. He was a Marine. He was a Marine from Texas, San Antonio, Texas. He invited me to live with him in Lincoln, North Carolina. I was homeless on the streets. He worked at a 7-Eleven. He used to fix me pastry bags at the end of the night. And at that time, I was smoking, and me and him would share cigarettes and just have conversations. Ultimately, he let me come to stay with him and live with him. In the course of me living with him, we had a conversation about light skin and dark skin. And I told him, yeah, there's wars between dark skin and light skinned people. This is a totally white man from Texas. He said, really? He didn't know this. Now, remind you, he done went through the military, through different cultures, all the way back home. He did real tours. He killed people for real, right? He didn't just go join the military and get a career of it. He killed people for real in the military as a Marine. He never heard of the light skin and dark skin conflict in that culture. The culture of that conflict. He was like, really? I was like, yeah, light skin, dark skin, there's this ongoing problem, battle. In essence, I just basically let him know it was a conflict between the two, you know. And so that just gives you an example of how some white Americans in other Americans may not know that this is a real issue. Not just barely a hang up, not just something that, you know, breezes through the atmosphere every once in a while. There's a lot of people that have been in pain because they were dark skinned or light skinned. They've been in pain in their community because of it. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, for whatever experience that they've had. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that white America really is not aware of. Most white Americans like dark-skinned people. I mean, it's dark-skinned Africans, I'm put it like that. Dark-skinned African Americans, they gravitate, many white people gravitate towards that. You know, and they don't, and a lot of dark-skinned African Americans don't even realize that. Some don't. While some may have a complex about it, in reality, a lot of white people find it beautiful. Let's establish that. Okay? Because more the issue is on the light skin. That's more the issue. Because you got to remember, dark-skinned African Americans is more the original, right? Or the original look of African, right? We can establish that. So light skin would be more of the outside, right? So light skin has more issues because it's not the norm. It's not the norm for Africans. That's a 7. So one of the main issues I've seen is that many dark-skinned African Americans feel here's where the confidence is. They feel that they're more the root. They feel like they're more stronger than the light skin. They feel like they're more authentic when it comes to being African. It's true. It's true. It's true, guys. It's true. And I'm not saying it's everybody. I established that. But it's enough people for it to be a significant issue in the African American culture, where if you're dark skinned, man or woman, or even child, you look at other black people that's light skinned as less potent or less African. It's true. And you think that you're a stronger version of African. Let me help you with something. Because with the light skin ongoing term that of mutt, this is what I've heard. Now, for people that don't know what a mutt is a term used for a dog that has different breeds within it. It has more than one breed. And because the dog animal has more than one breed, usually it behaves weaker. It acts and behave and its fight is weaker, right? And usually among dog breeds, not humans, among dog breeds, I guess a dog that's just one type of breed is considered more of a quality pedigree if it's just 100 this or 100 of that. If it's just 100% this type of breed and 100% that type of breed. This is what is applied. This is the perception that's applied to dogs, right? This perception should not be applied to human beings for one reason. With human beings, the more bloodlines you have, listen closely, is the more spiritual inheritance that you have. The more bloodlines you have, the more spiritual inheritance you have. The more bloodlines you have, the more spiritual power you have. Because your bloodlines, if you have more than one or two, they had a relationship with God. And if that relationship with God was really, truly powerful, then God planned on blessing the future generations of that bloodline. So you put it all together. You have God bless promises for this bloodline, promises for that bloodline, spiritual inheritance, spiritual power being pushed down to different bloodlines. In only ways that God can explain that spiritual power coming down through those bloodlines, that makes a more spiritual, powerful person. So in actuality, the more bloodlines you have, the more potent, the more powerful, because of the spirituality. Now, I'm gonna leave you right there. The reason why most light-skinned African Americans become weak by the time that they're in their late teenage years, 16, 17, I even say 14, starting at 14, a weakness, even before that, these days. But a weakness starts very early because the many dark-skinned African Americans begin to pick and bully the light-skinned children. Yeah, it's true. Rejection starts at a very young age because you're light-skinned. Rejection starts. These are the real issues. You want to know the real issues? All you people want to know what's going on in our community. Now you get into it. Now we get into it. Everybody broadcasts everything else. Hey, why not broadcast real issues and get real solutions? Okay? So by the time a light-skinned girl, let's just go with the girl, first. The light-skinned girl, by the time, if she's beautiful and light-skinned, and she's, she's considered black, by the time she's 8, 9, on into 10, definitely on into 10, the rejection starts. The rejection, now it may not be you. You may not be the person that injects that rejection into that person, right? But you can't speak for your whole community. You can't speak for everybody. All you can do when it comes to an issue like this is speak for yourself. So a light-skinned young girl, by the time between 8 and 10, the rejection starts at school. The black kids, the black girls that are not confident in their own beauty. It's that part. It's not that they're beautiful. Many among in the African American community feel, and it's their own complex, they feel that light skin is more beautiful. No one made them feel this way per se. I'm gonna say it this way. Light skin people didn't make them feel this way. Not all the time. Sometimes, but not all the time. Many times, the complex that light skin is more beautiful to these kids is their parents. Their parents have put this complex in their children because they go home and they hear their mom talk all this stuff about light-skinned people. Yeah, them old high yellow niggas running around here. This is how we talk. High yellow niggas are running around here. I can't stand them. I don't want no light-skinned man. I can't stand no light-skinned man. Give me a chocolate man. So now you got your kid exposed to this, right? Now she goes to school bullying the light-skinned girls. That's a 7. Now she goes to school bullying the light-skinned girls because her mom had a complex about not secure in her own beauty, to where she had to throw off and downgrade the light-skinned girls to make herself feel better about herself. See, this is the real issues that you either know it or you don't. That's why I tell people, if you're not black, please stay out of our lane. Please stay out of our politics. Let us fight through our own battles. You ain't got nothing to do with it. Because when it comes to these real issues, you don't know nothing about it. I'm going to show you now. I'm going to tell you now. You want to be involved. You want to call yourself, helping the true African Americans receive equality. Okay. We weeding out the races. Okay. I'm going to show you what you don't know. I'm going to show you the real issues that you don't know nothing about. And you sitting up in politics that you in a whole culture you don't know nothing about. So you got light skin that gets mistreated. And I'm gonna say this: a light skinned girl, on the average, will go through more mistreatment in a black school than a dark skinned girl. Absolutely. If she has long hair, pretty hair, light skin, beautiful features, beautiful eyes, she's going to get jealousy. She's going to get envy because it's in the black community. Even the girls, everyone feels. Many of people feel in the African American community that light skin is better. So what are the girls gonna do? Oh, they see a light skinned girl. Oh, they automatically think she's better. So let us reject her. Let us hate on her. She's better. Let's give her a hard time. I'm showing you what happens. And this is where you get people that are bitter. By the time they come out of high school, that same young girl is what you call bougie. She bougie and stuck up and she got an attitude. You know why? Because by the time she got to high school, she got so much rejection, she became bougie. That's a 7. Oh, you don't want to hear it like that, do you? You want to think she just became bougie somewhere putting on lipstick and makeup in her room. That's where she became bougie at. No, she became bougie when you start rejecting her because of her light skin and beauty. That's where it happened. That's where it happened. And then by the time she become a fully grown woman, now she just defecate on everybody. She might find some kind of acceptance, but she ain't too hood because she already know there's going to be jealousy if she go too deep in the black community. That's a 7. Boom. She already know it's going to be some hate. It's going to be some hate and jealousy because she's too beautiful. She's too cute. So she has expensive taste because in all actuality, white people liked her and black people liked her. It's how it is. I'm gonna get to the pros and the cons of both, of being light skinned and dark skinned. I'm gonna get to both. The pros of being light skinned is a lot of times it's a double-edged sword. White people in America have the tendency to like either one extreme or the other. They like light skin or they like dark skin. Very dark skin. And this is their preference. What I've noticed throughout American culture is that white people will gravitate many times towards light skin. They don't have a problem with it because in actuality, they kind of feel like you kind of part of them. That's true. And we can take it all the way back to the slavery times. They feel like you're part of them. So they don't have a problem with kind of accepting you a little bit. And so what you'll find more times than not is by the time a light-skinned girl gets in her 20s and stuff, she's probably dated some white guys. She's probably hung out with white people, you know, and she came to a balance. But by the time she's 20, she's been through hanging around white people, hanging around black people. And she gets expensive tastes. She becomes, and that adds to people thinking she's bougie, but she getting what she wants because she's beautiful. You can't deny that she's beautiful. Now, that's another thing I don't do. I don't downgrade light skin to make dark skin feel better. Vice versa. I don't downgrade dark skin to make light skin feel better. That's the big problem. Also, okay, you smack on one to make the other one feel better. You just as beautiful as she is. Why you gotta say it then? Why you gotta say it? If that's the case, then why you gotta even say it then? Because you know why? Because it's a struggle with a complex that light skin is better. And it's not only black people's fault, it's Hollywood's fault too. They just started in the last 10 years or so? Something like that. I would say best 20 years, where they just now really embracing like dark skin as beauty. But before that, it was all about the light skinned girl, especially back in the 80s and only into the 90s. You seen the videos, they had the light skinned girls. Now people are realizing as time evolves and as perception evolves that dark skin is beautiful because the perception of beauty has evolved. Now people can get past a certain particular color at face value. Now you looking deeper because in all actuality, people are becoming smarter. Human beings are becoming smarter. So now you're realizing, well, she's just as cute as a black woman. I mean, a light-skinned woman. Now you're realizing that. But this is after all the time that light-skinned people try to show you just as beautiful. See, you had to get the white man in Hollywood to show you were beautiful before you accepted yourself. Many, they got the complex. The white man had to approve you first. That's a 7. Once he put you in Hollywood in a certain place, now you believed it. But light-skinned people were telling you that all the time. You're just as beautiful. You thought they were just patting you on the back like, you're cute, but I'm better. You thought they didn't really mean it. You thought they were just patting you on the back saying, you're cute, but really I feel I'm better. And you thought this until the white man told you, you're just as attractive. When he embraced your beauty, then you embraced it. That's for a lot of people. Meanwhile, many light-skinned people had to suffer for your complex when you came in the room. You come in the room dragging this complex. Ask the women. And it's not really, it's your fault, but it's not. But you got to take responsibility for your own perception. It's kind of that situation. And this has become a real issue in the African American community, whether you want to accept it or not. Now, see, among others, like let's say, for example, among Asians, is that really a complex? Light skin versus dark skin? Probably not, because there's not too much of a contrast in their complexions. You know, you may have islanders that are Asian and they have a darker complexion, and some of them are dark. But on the average though, among like the Chinese and the Japanese, this is not an issue. Same thing with what's the other white people obviously don't have this issue. Even among Hispanics and Latinos, maybe it's an issue. I think it is. I think it is a little issue, but it's not as heavy as an issue because there's not the contrast. That's why I can assume it, because let's put it like this. It's not more of an issue in anywhere else but our community because we have the strongest contrast. Let's put it like this. We have the biggest spectrum of different complexions. The Africans have the biggest spectrum. We're all different type of shades and colors, right? And that's where you're going to get all type of complexes. This has to be understood, because if you don't understand this, you won't understand the tension that is there. You don't want to understand why it's there. Now, some people are confident. You can see it. They have no hang-ups. They don't feel that you are more beautiful than them, and you can tell. They're nice to you. They don't think you're beautiful because you're light-skinned. They just see you as an attractive person. That's it. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. You can tell the difference. Okay? Now, but there are many that will say, they'll just say straight out, I don't date no light-skinned woman. I don't want no light-skinned man. Before they even give them a try. And this is the $1 million question. Listen, guys, if people dealing with it, we have to talk about it. If it's real issues, we got to talk about it. That's how I see it. If it's a real issue and it's causing pain and it's causing any kind of hang-ups or complexes, we got to talk about it. If it's causing any kind of mental situations, if it's a cultural situation, we got to talk about it. That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, people haven't addressed this enough to me accurately, just saying it as it is. A light skin and dark skin situation. You know, for example, now I would tell you one thing. Being anything but dark skin, you have to grow tough skin. You have to. If you look different, you got different color eyes, you got different color complexion, you have to and your energy may be considered different. You have to grow tough skin. Look at even in African American comedy. In African American comedy, you got the light skin jokes. Right or wrong, guys? You got the light skin jokes. Do you really hear any dark skin jokes? There's not any dark skin jokes, right? There's not, right? There's only really light skin jokes. Now that's how you know we got tough skin. Because if we did not have tough skin, then we would have already made it an issue. We accepted this because in reality, we've learned to accept the throw off jokes, the half, saying little stuff, about a complexion. You're used to it. You're used to it being brought to attention, right? So by the time you become an adult, you don't really have a problem with the light skin jokes. But that's a big problem. And think about it. Now let's flip it around. Now, if you were doing dark skin jokes, how many people would find that funny? I'm just saying. It wouldn't be that funny, would it? That's what I'm saying. You would feel this is the first thing you would feel. Oh, he act like he don't want to be black. Why he talking about dark skin like that? Like he don't want to be black or something. Like dark skin is bad. Why he making all them corny jokes about dark skin? That's what y'all gonna say. Meanwhile,